Looking for a low-cost solution to automate your blinds? Today we're going to review iBlinds, a Z-Wave enabled horizontal blind motor. I'll also be covering some useful troubleshooting tips, so stay tuned. Hi again, John Stone, the DIY Smart Home Guy. On the channel, it's all about providing tips, tricks, and reviews for your affordable smart home. If you're a home automation nut like me, you've no doubt been looking for an affordable solution for controlling your window treatments. The problem is, most automated blind solutions are expensive, difficult to install, or require some good old-fashioned build-it-yourself tinkering. In some cases, you can't even get a price unless you schedule an in-home consultation, which, of course, requires you to hand over your email, address, and phone number. Lucky for us, there's new players entering this market all the time, and they promise to make the entire process less painful and more affordable. It just so happens that iBlinds is one of those players, and they've recently released a smart Z-Wave motor that integrates with smart hubs like Vera, SmartThings, and WinkHub 2. The folks over at iBlinds were kind enough to send over this demo unit for me to check out. So in this video, we'll look at the installation process, cover some troubleshooting tricks, as well as talk about some home automation tips. And just so you have a proper introduction, iBlinds is a product of HAB Home Intelligence LLC, which is a startup located in Arlington, Texas.
You are Hammond of Texas.
They also have an Indiegogo campaign. If you're interested in supporting projects like these, there's a link in the video description below. And before you accuse me of being on the payroll, this video is not a paid endorsement and I receive no compensation for making this video. All product links in the description below are affiliate links, and I may receive commissions if you purchase products from these links. Some products shown in the video were provided to me for free from the manufacturer. However, the video should not be considered an endorsement for any of these products. HAB Home Intelligence is a company with a vision that's centered around expanding the smart home window covering ecosystem. Basically, they feel that if our locks, lights, and thermostats are smart, then shouldn't our window coverings be smart also? Well, yeah. And as I mentioned, iBlinds is Z-Wave, which means it can integrate straight into your smart hub. When you buy the kit, which normally sells for 99 bucks, you'll get the iBlind motor, the power connector, a battery, plus the tilt rod adapters and a height adapter. The kit also includes the basic power package, which consists of a USB adapter and a USB charging cable. You can purchase an optional solar panel charger, solar power, that'll help you make sure that you won't need to worry about leaving power cables hanging around your window or accessing the unit to give it a charge. To see more videos like these, now's a good time to subscribe. You'll also want to spank that bell icon to be notified when new videos are released or if I stream a live broadcast. The other thing worth noting is that they have units that operate on different Z-Wave frequencies, which means you can use them in countries all over the world. But you want to make sure that you tell them which country you plan to use the motor in when you place your order, just to make sure that you get the right frequency for your country. Now, one limitation that I see is that they currently only support 2 to 2.5 inch horizontal shades, which are basically your standard Venetian blinds. Don't get me wrong, this is a nice place to start, but I'm looking forward to options for motorized vertical blinds as well. Hint, hint. Hint, hint. Looking at the installation from the top down, you'll see the motor, the charging port, and the battery. The battery has this on-off switch, which will be important in a few minutes. And if you're wondering how long the battery lasts, iBlind boasts an impressive 6 months on average. During the installation, you'll be removing the tilt rod and putting a USB charging port in its place. I left a link to a nice install video in the description below. You can also find the video on the iBlinds website. So here's how they work. When you activate the motor from your smartphone or Z-Wave remote, the motor turns this connecting rod to tilt the blinds. Another drawback that I see is that the unit isn't able to raise and lower the blinds, but according to iBlinds, they're working on it. And in my opinion, with the proper amount of automation, tilt really is all you need. And since this connects into your smart hub, you have access to voice commands if you're using a voice controller. Computer, set blinds to 50%. Now, before we take a look at this inside the Vera, Wink, and SmartThings hubs, let's cover a few troubleshooting tips just real quick. First, when you get ready to pair this thing, make sure that the power has been on for at least 60 seconds. Then, when you put your hub into inclusion mode, press the Include/Exclude button once. Don't press this more than once or you're going to run into problems. If you pressed it 3 or more times, I'll let you know how to recover from this in just a minute. After your hub responds, you're going to want to wait, and I mean wait. The motor is going to go through an internal setup routine, which could take a few minutes, so you're going to want to be patient. You'll know it's finished doing its thing when it runs through this calibration mode. During this cycle, the motor will open and close the blinds as it figures out where the max limits are. And that's pretty much it. You're done. Now, if you got a little click happy and press that include button more than 3 times, I've created a set of troubleshooting instructions that I've left over my website in the how-to section, so you'll want to check that out. On the control side, let's start with the Wink. When you pair this in with the Wink, you'll bring this in as a generic Z-Wave switch. The downside here is that the Wink Hub 2 only supports full open and full close. However, iBlinds is working with Wink to open up the remaining features. Okay, so let's get this thing into the SmartThings Hub. As usual, you're just going to go straight into your SmartThings app and you're going to hit that little plus sign. And then we're going to go back to the iBlinds unit there and we're going to hit the include button. Okay, now that SmartThings has detected it, just a quick rename. Do the same thing as last time, Lab Blinds. Done and save. Okay, now we're going to wait a couple of minutes and we're going to let that do its auto calibration. Sometimes if you're waiting a little bit too long for this to go through its auto calibration mode, you might want to give it a helping hand by hitting that on or off button, and that's going to get that thing started. It's a beautiful thing. To get full functionality within the SmartThings Hub, you'll need to install the iBlinds device handler. For those of you that don't already know, a device handler is a custom piece of software that allows the manufacturer to expose additional functionality to the hub. In the case of SmartThings, this will be the battery level and the variable tilt settings. I've left a link to the device handler and how to install them in the description below. Now on the Vera side, it's pretty straightforward. Full functionality straight away, no device handlers, no muss, no fuss. When you bring in the device, you'll set it up as a generic Z-Wave device. It came in smoothly and it has all the features available. You can see the full up, full down, battery indicator, and the percent slider. Using the open and close options allows you to start the motion and then stop it. There's also a link to my review of the Vera Secure in the description below, and since this is now paired with my home automation hub, we can create all sorts of cool scenes. For example, tilt it to 75% in the morning to let the light in, but I don't want the direct sunlight. Afternoon, when the sun's out of the way, you can open it up to 50% to let in more light. And at night, you can automatically close the blinds 30 minutes after sunset to keep the neighbors from peeking in. Because that's how your neighbors are, right? Overall, I think the folks over at iBlinds hit a home run with this device. I like the fact that it has the optional solar panel and that it connects directly to my smart hubs. And since you're still here, I'd like to take a moment to talk about Patreon. Every little bit helps, and all the support goes directly into making these videos for viewers like you. I'm also making my DIY Smart Home Guy shirts available over at Logo Sportswear. There's a link to my store in the description below. Over time, I'll be making more options available, so keep checking it out. You might just find something you like. For more reviews, tips, and DIY videos, visit azhb.com. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to click like. Over here are a couple of other videos that you might enjoy. Until next time. Cheers. I'm expanding the smart window covering eco 2.5 inch